The banks will assist you in doing this.
Yes.
It also builds customer confidence to know that persons are operating or dealing with an entity that is well established and registered.
And that is true. Because a bank not going to look at it if you don't have a registered business, because when you're doing business, one of the things is to, you have to look at even anti-money laundering.
Correct.
Because you have a business and you're making, let's say, you're depositing 100,000 like every week, and the bank don't know if you coming in regular with these money. So where you're coming from, they're going to start digging into your finances, to see where it is that you're getting all of this money from. And sometimes, depending on the level of money coming in, they can freeze your accounts.
Definitely.
Because after that banks freezing accounts, and then this person have to go in and go through the hassle of dictating where it is that the money is coming from and pretty much showing everything from start to finish.
Jamie, just last week, I had 2 clients that had similar issue in which the bank had freezed their money, and we have to prepare the financial statement to present to the bank in order for them to get access back to that funds. So it's speed compliance.
Yes, it's compliance. And everybody moving in the direction of AML right now.
Correct.
Everybody. So without that, because to be honest, even my family member the other day, he just started up his business and he didn't register it at the time. So it wasn't registered at the time, but the business is going, and he's doing the things in time. But the business operating, but you just don't finish up the paperwork yet, but you have it in the pipeline. And he went to the bank to deposit some money, and the bank he said, like, I haven't seen you in a while now. Where are you coming from with all this money? And he's there, having to tell them, so listen, say, I have a business right here, and this is what we've been making for this period of time, and so on. And the bank say, all right, you know what? I'm going to take a deposit, but you need to sort out yourself. So, over time, they're going to stop taking his deposits, if he not decide, fix up his fund. So, register business, open up in business account, and we can tell you, no, he's not going to have no issue with the banks. And as I say,
so that's an exception.
Loans and so on.
So
loans
that's an
and so on.
So that's an exception the bank made funds, because some banks will not take that funds.
Yes, that's true. Some bank not going to take the fund.
And also, one of the rationale for the bank asking for cash flow projection for newly registered business is for them to get an insight on the business estimated inflow of funds that will be channeled through their account. So that is paramount important. Please, guests, remember that if you have a question, please to pose the question by clicking the question bar and pose the question there. We'll tackle the question later on in the interview. Yes, Jamie. So what we're basically doing is enlightening the viewers on the importance of having good bookkeeping and the rationale for registering their business. A lot of persons have a big fear or phobia as it relates to registering their business because of the T word. That 3-letter T word causes a big issue. And I fail to understand why, but I guess at the end of this session, it will provide them a little bit more insight for them better to able to understand why paying tax or filing their tax is not a big
deal.
Fear or phobia and wanting to register to operate their business or register their business per se. So can you go ahead?
All right, with this whole tax thing now, what people don't understand is that you're operating a business. Now, you might not be operating out of a storefront or something like that. You're just operating from your house.
Online.
How tax is set up, is that you have to take out your expenses out of it. So, first of all, you're going to have a direct expenses. So, where let's say you're operating a clothes store and you're operating out of your house. Now, you have to buy clothes to sell. That's a direct expense. But guess what? You're operating this thing out of your house, you know. If you never live here, how would you store the stuff for your clothes store? Right? If you have a storefront, you have to pay rent for it, right? So why you think that because you live here and you're operating the business out of your house, why you think it's different? The business have to pay rent. And that is an expense on the business. So
Right.
this is how you kind of add up your expenses for the business. Now you have your car as well. You use a car, you go pick up your stock, you go do all of these little things. You have to
Delivery.
buy gas, wear and tear on the car.
Delivery.
You have to charge a company. So as Fabian says, delivery or even picking up anything at all. You see, once you use your personal stuff, charge the business.
Correct.
You understand me? No, cars come with their own set of expense. You have insurance, you have a bag of things. So when you charge a piece of your insurance to your business, that's an expensive building up right there.
Correct.
And you see what I noticed, to be honest, with tax office really and truly just want to know, say,
You're
you're contributing, you're compliant.
Correct.
So try your best as possible to be compliant, because you don't want to be caught where you're not compliant and they just come down and mark you still. Tax office kind of behind, but one thing I can tell you,
Yeah, I get
tax
you.
office have a new system. Raise. It's one big data mine. So you see, once your name pop up in the system, they're going to find you. I see where persons collecting like 2 income tax threshold, because you know you can't collect more than 1 and per job. You can't collect more than 1.5 per year. And within like a year, tax office call them and say, hey man, you know that you collect 2 threshold over this period. Leave back my money. So just know the tax office getting there, you know. And how they're moving, I feel tax office soon reach an IRS level, to be honest, where you know, say, oh, you're just afraid of it. So now get yourself in at that the point where you're afraid of it. File where you have. Get your business expenses in. You pay $25,000 for rent. You understand me? And you have a 2-bedroom. Half of that 2-bedroom, one of the rooms is for the business. Charge 12.5 or 12,500 to the business. Business have to pay its rent. Because you could have used the room to something else, you know.
I just want to add though, Jamie, you have to also understand that given the fact that you're operating from home, the expense that you faced at home can also be borne by the business. Example,
Yes.
the light,
Mm-hmm.
internet. So
Yeah.
you can apportion it, or you can, but I'll more recommend that you apportion it.
Apportion it, yes.
What I mean by apportion it, split it 50-50. Say if you pay $3,000 for light, $1,500 is covered by the business, $1,500 is covered by you. Same for the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So with
So
that,
this is where your tax just start shrink down. And it's simple, you're compliant. Tax office come to you and say, I want to see how you come to this. You have your bills and show and say, listen, that back room around there is where I operate out of, and I have to use light and internet around there to market my business, you know. I have to charge the business. And a lot of our small entrepreneurs right now don't have the money to start up a storefront or whatever, you know. So they need to understand, say, every little thing. It don't matter how small it is. Even when you buy credit for your phone, 10 chance to one, you have to call some clients.
charge.
It.
And it's important
Charge the business.
to make a record of all of this information. So
Yes.
when you're doing your financial statement at the end of the year, you can do your in-house financial statement, or you can reach out to an accountant to prepare your financial statement. So it's very important that if you spend X, make a note of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will need this at the end of the year in terms of putting your information together in filing your tax.
Yes.
Jamie,
And,
I want to also touch a little bit more on the tax issue. A lot of persons say they don't know how much they're supposed to file as it relates to the tax.
Okay.
I want you to go into that a little in providing a little clarity. If you have a question, please ask, type the question by clicking the question bar at the bottom, and we will tackle the question. You can also subscribe to Jamie YouTube channel, in which he do a lot of these discussion as it relates to tax, business, loans, etc. So his name is in the pinned at the bottom, Jamie Radcliffe. You can look for him on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. So if you have a question again, please to post it at the bottom. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right. So in terms of tax, how much money you pay for tax? You see, if you have a limited liability company, you pay 25% of your net income. Net. So you see, after you take out half of your rent because you operate at home, half of your light bill, internet bill, some of your gas money, all of them things there, you pay 25% of that for tax. So to be honest, the more things you can attribute to the business, or the more things that are attributed to the business, less tax you're going to pay. Now, for a limited company, the tax is kind of easier.
Jamie, explain that to them, please.
Which one?
When you say the more things they attribute to the business, the less tax. I want it to be a little bit more direct so they can understand.
Okay. All right. So as I said, the more things you attribute to the business, the less tax you're going to pay for the business. So the expenses are like a direct things where you buy for the business. It's not just those alone you're going to take into consideration. Those by default come out of the business already. You know say them the inner. Now what you have to do now is you have to kind of drill down in how you operate the business. Where you operate the business from. Alright, you operate it out of your house. You pay 25 grand for your rent, as I said before. And your business take up 1 or your 2-bedroom flat. Half of the rent have to go to your business. So 12,500 to your business per month. And then you know say at the end of the year, you just write off all of that money for the business as rent. Next thing you look on, you say, alright, I live here so and a candle may I use. Or even if a candle I use.
You still have to buy the candle.
You still have to buy the candle. So if you pay $100 for your candle, them, $50 for the business. Because you're going to use one of the candle them round at the office which part of the business there. So make sure you write down that. And one of the biggest things when you do your business thing, you see, a record keeping. Don't left you up to your head alone. You have to left out things. You see me? So you need to know so the candle them alright. You know, say last month I buy 4 candles and this month I buy 3. You have to write down that. Then after that you say, alright, internet bill. Mark, you might get your internet bill them in your email or whatsoever it is. But put them down. Gas. Attribute a portion of your gas to the business. If you don't have a car, you take bus, you know, say you go here so for the business, put down that fee. All of them things. So don't think of it as say, oh, you know, say that money they never really make no sense. So I'm not going to think about it to put it as a portion of the business. No do it. So not think about it like that. The smaller it is, make sure you don't miss it because guess what? Tax is done on a percentage basis. So if once you lower it down, it will go down based on a percentage basis. So even if $100, a $25 that you save in the taxes on $100 bill. So don't think about it. So accumulate everything. For me personally, you know, say if my gas receipt, let me try to save. I may at least write it down and say, you know, say, I buy 6 grand gas last week for my rental company. If I wash a car, I have to write it down. I'm washing a car between 5 years to $1 grand. I have to make sure I say, oh, I have that put down, because guess what? I wash a car like, say, if I wash a car every week, you know, 52 weeks in a year, you know, 52 grand that, you know. But guess what? You see, every week spending $1 grand washing a car, you know, seem that much. But look on the overall thing, that a 52,000 when I have to pay a tax office. Alright, well, not 52,000. 25% of 52,000 that I don't have to pay a tax office. You see me? So I have to look on these things. But this is when you have your limited liability company. You know? You see, like when you do a sole proprietorship, like a business name or a partnership, a little bit different. Because with a partnership, you file it as yourself. Now, we all know that the government give out tax threshold. So, you get your 1.5 tax threshold when you file your tax as a business name or as a sole trader individual. So whatever you make, you can minus out the 1.5 before you start paying income tax. Now, you still have to pay NHT, NIS, education tax going on. 1.5 not really matter in these cases, but it helps. And you can even pay a pension. Pay a pension as a small business owner. Make sure you have a little pension plan. Start put with something. It no matter how small it is. Because you see, that way you put in away, tax-free. Lower your taxes when you pay to the government. And then, when you do a small business, you see if you make over 6 million, your tax threshold change again, you know. Once you make over 6 million, anything over 6 million at 30%, you know. And then remember, you only have 1.5 to take out. So once you take out the 1.5 and still reach a 6 million, everything after that at 30%, you know. So you'll get a beating here. So I see in my view, once you reach over 6 million as a small entrepreneur, move over to a limited company. Yeah. It fear better for you in the taxes. Or the limited company, sometimes you can even write off more things than with a business name.
Correct. If you have vehicles, etc., within business name, that is depreciation. You can take depreciation out.
Loan.
So, another question clients will ask Jamie, is it important to pay the tax quarterly or annually?
All right.
They'll ask the question, which is better, to pay the tax quarterly or pay it annually?
You see, my thing in this thing, Fabian, we can't really, all right, you're supposed to pay it quarterly. But to be honest, tax office now already running down fee quarterly like that. So you see, depending on how your cash flow stay, but that's a pay quarterly. Why? It gives you a chance to pay a little bit going up. But if you know, say at the end of the year, you can just pay all of it. Or you want to wait till the end of the year to pay all of it to see how your thing actually set. Because for me, you don't want to know, say, last year my tax was 25,000 and this year at 20 and me overpay the government. You know, get back that the money. And as a business owner, you want to keep all of your money for your cash flow where it is, you know. So normally when me do is me pay the first quarter, then me wait till the end of the year, me do everything and pay everything at that time to tax office. Yeah man, that's what me do.
Another question a client will ask, what is the importance of having a TCC?
Right now you see a TCC?
It's good.
I one of the best thing. Well, I'm not even going to say best thing. That's not really the best thing in my eyes. You know, but guess what? It's integral. Government want it. The government need if you have a TCC for sure say you have to pay your taxes. And then what they have done is to ensure that a lot of the persons where you do business with require the TCC. Now, I'm going to show you.
Jimmy, hold on. A person's, I guess, Miss Buchanan asked the question. If you pay quarterly, you know, the government financial year ends March, the tax period I think is March 15. You have to pay.
March 15, yes.
So you would have paid for one quarter and then you pay for the rest of the year. The person is asking if you would pay late fee there and then.
All right. To be honest, I've never seen late fees go on these things, you know. You understand me? For me, personally, I've never had the late fees added to my own. And how me look at it still, the late fees, government charging your late fee, I think about 3%, you know, and it all depends on how much you paid in taxes before. So sometimes it actually negligible. So it all depends on how you are doing it. You understand me? And it depends on your cash flow, because if it is that you don't have the cash flow right now to pay it, you're paying a small late fee on 3%, you know, could be a better trader than you trying to take money out of the business that you could be using to operate the business. So it depends on you. For me, I prefer operate the business now and pay a small fee at the end of the year.
But
government don't charge not like the banks.
Interest and penalty mainly applies heavily when persons will not pay year over year.
Yes.
So when you do not file your tax, it accumulates a lot of interest, late fee, and penalties, and this can accumulate to be millions of dollars. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of persons do not even know, Jamie, that they can even file nil if the business is not really making any money.
Oh.
Then when you file nil, it allows the government to basically want to grant persons like you exception and waiver.
Mm-hmm.
Filing nil also can allow the government to owe you money. And a lot of persons are not aware of that.
Yes.
So it is important that you file your tax. For most of the businesses that are just recently registered, you're not required to file any tax for this year. You'll file March on or before March 15 in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And moving onwards. So
onward.
So you can continue, Jamie, on the TCC topic.
Okay. All right. How the TCC is right now. If you want to open a bank account, you have to have a TCC. That is where you know how important it is. And opening a bank account for your business is one of the simplest and most important things your business needs. So I don't really feel me have to explain the importance past that, because you can't even get a bank account after that. Now, you see, a next thing, if you are someone that imports for your business, you need a TCC again. Because once you don't have a TCC and you do importation of any of your items that you sell, government will charge you 33% more, you know, just to clear it, you know. And to get a TCC, in my estimation, relatively cheap, you know, it's just time it costs if you're going to do it by yourself.
But
so,
Jay,
you know, you have to do it.
That is a service that I offer. I do the TCC for clients.
All right, so you see, if you don't want to spend the time, spend the money. And see, you have Fabian here willing to do it for you, you know, and make the rounds. Because, to be honest, to go around to NHT, sit down, NIA, sit down, tax office, sit down. I went to tax office the other day, and so when I got inside tax office, it took me 3 hours to come out. And all I was doing is register in our vehicle. 3 hours just to come out. I'm in the inside already. So, I'm not talking about women outside, just inside. Now, if I didn't know that take me that long, personally, I not got tax office. So, depends on you guys for your TCC, what you need. And forget your TCC as a new business, you just tick the box. That's all you need for your TCC as a new business. Once you're doing the filing, like Fabian does the filing, I'm sure that he's not going to incorporate a new company for you without selecting the TCC option.
That would be relevant. It's very easy. And with that,
it's very easy to get the first one.
Yeah, for the first one. And with that, TCC number is granted. You can just go on tax office side and you pull it down same time. That's the provision. Yes. So, Jamie, I think we would have touched on most of the topics here, and we're going to tackle the unknowns. So, okay. Can an online business owner claim for tax return at the end of the year?
Well, it doesn't really matter if your business online or offline. Once you registered in Jamaica, you know, and when you say claim for tax returns, you know, that means you have the impression that your business is not making a profit. It's making a loss. It's not like in the States where you're going to get back your money where you claim your tax returns at the end of the year. Jamaica don't work like that.
No, that's
not getting back any money.
No, they're not going to get. They'd rather to have you in credit than to give you back money.
Yeah, you're not going to get back any money. So you're going to have the credits there where you can offset next year against until it clear out. But high possibility you're not going to get back any money. I see bigger companies than us and tax office fighting and tax office winning that war. No money not paying out. So as small persons, it's harder for us.
This question is a little bit long.
Please
explain the business structure where your company are owned by your holding company. The tax benefits you do it.
All right. You see this question now? All right. No, it all depends on how it is that the company interacts with the holding company and where the holding company is domiciled. Now, you see, in Jamaica, if the holding company is in Jamaica, you're still going to pay regular taxes. So, to be honest, it's not even really going to change much. But you see, if you're in a tax haven and you want your company in Jamaica, or you want to benefit from your tax haven status somewhere else, or you actually benefit is where you pay over dividends to the company in the tax haven, or you charge a management fee. So your holding company charges a management fee to the company and they pay that over. So it's an expense on this company wherein now that is a tax benefit for it. And then with the dividends portion, or you're paying over a portion of your profit to the holding company, then you know the holding company, the tax haven, not going to pay a tax on that. You just move all right over. And then your company in Jamaica just write it off as an expense as well.
That would have also answered the second question that the person would have posed. This client asks, what is a TCC? The abbreviation TCC represents Tax Compliance Certificate. What this speaks to is that basically you're in good standing with the government as it relates to your tax standing.
Yes.
What about business owners that have been in business for a while but does not have a steady account? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Steady accounting.
Does it mean that you're putting your money through a bank account? Or are you just operating and keeping the money and just replenishing stock? I need a little bit more clarity on this question. Matter, please provide some clarity on this question for us to better able to guide you. Do you guys do bookkeeping for business? Regrettably, the whole thing that we do is to file tax and prepare financial statements separate and apart from registering business. So we don't
actually
do. But
sorry about that. Actually, no persons that do bookkeeping for businesses, you know, because a lot of the time they will do it up for the taxes and so I know persons that do taxes, which in turn really and truly do the bookkeeping aspect of it too.
And we mainly, to be honest, one of my arms I can assign to do it, but it will attract a monthly cost because we'd have to come in on a monthly basis to capture all of that. So it's because we are fairly 6 months in operation, we don't want to undertake a lot of things. We just want to focus on the primary objective before we branch off into other stuff. But if that we can do it on a small scale by not undertaking a lot of clients, because it really requires manpower to come in and assess your book and tabulate the data. Jamie? So you're in this one, Jamie. What happens if you have a job and also have a business?
All right. So what happens when you have a job and a business? You don't really have a lot of time for yourself. That much I can tell you. But it depends on the structure of your business, you know. Because if you have a business name and you have a job, then you have to file tax as one entity. So you have to take into consideration the money that you make from your job plus the money that you make from your business, pool them together and then file a complete thing right there. But if you have a limited liability company, then the company files for itself and you just pretty much work with your job as is, where you wouldn't file the tax because your job would send everything over to tax office already.
But Jamie, what if the person is employed to a company and the company is filing a tax for that person and the person also have a business on the side operating? They'll also need to file there. So I guess
yes,
this question relates to that.
Yeah, that's why I say you have to file it as a whole. So what you're doing now, you're going to go to your job and you're going to ask them for, I think it's a P24. P24 going to show everything that you paid over to the government for the year. And you're going to show your gross salary and everything. So you're going to use this information plus the information from your job, from your side business, and put them together and then file from there. So you have to get the P24 though.
Let me share this with you, Jamie. A lot of persons get in a lot of trouble as it relates to this because their company have policies that prevent them to have business on the side. Business is similar to the core business in which they're employed to do, meaning that if I am working in a bank and I'm having a consultancy firm that give financial advice, for me to go to my HR to share that in which I have a registered business, it can deem to be a conflict of interest.
That's true.
So person have to be very carefully. So ensure before you register a business, you liaison with your HR to understand what the company policy is and the company standpoint as it relates to the nature of the business in which you're registering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because a lot of businesses don't want you to, or a lot of employers don't want the conflict of interest and knowing that in the days you're pretty much split in terms of your time and so on. So you have to look at that as well.
What if tax office send a tax bill? How would one dispute that? I would recommend you visit the tax office.
Yes.
If you have your financial statement, have your bookkeeping and can present the data to them, you can always go ahead and dispute that. I have quite a few of those cases.
Yeah. And one thing is in terms of that too, when tax office sending you a bill, it's because they didn't file. So some of the time they give you an assessment. Because like with the GCT, let's say you don't have any GCT to file for a period, still file a nil return with 0 on it. Because if you don't do that, they are going to say the last time you filed 10 grand. I need 10 grand every month coming up still. So just make sure you continue filing even if nothing is going on.
Solar light skin, in you having your family member register the business, just to evade tax or just to be, it makes sense to just reach out to your employer and just outline, then you try to evade it because you want to be compliant and be on the good side at all times.
Yeah.
What is the tax rate if you earn from a full-time job and a small business over 6 million?
30% once you pass 6 million. So income tax is 30% for all the monies you make over $6 million plus the rest.
I guess that's the same question she was asking you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do I need a TCC for a mobile car wash? It is paramount important for you to register your business and having registered your business to establish a business account. And establishing a business account, you need cash flow projection. You might need your TCC. Well, not might need. You need your TCC. So I would say the answer to this question is yes, you'll need a TCC. Whether it's an online business, mobile car wash, whatever your business structure is, a TCC is required. It's paramount important for you to be compliant and in good keeping with the law of the land than to have tax office sending you a ridiculous tax bill for you to go there to sit down and dispute. Because if Jamie spent 3 hours just to transfer, you can imagine how long you will spend if you should go to raise a dispute.
Yeah.
How do you go about tax return?
All right. I'm going to assume the person is saying, how do you go about filing your tax return?
Basically,
you do it online, to be honest, you know. You just need to track all your expenses and do them up. If you're not able to do it, then you get an accountant to do it up for you and file it online.
and that is, again, that is a service that we offer. So you can reach out to me for that. How do I get a TCC? Link me in my DM.
I think you're going over the questions.
It's a lot, sir. How long after you register your business do you start paying tax? It depends on when you register your business. Jim?
All right, tax is paid March 15th of every year. So you see, once you register your business, so the March 15th tax that you pay, so like for 2020 March 15th, you'd have paid taxes for January 2019 up to December. So if your business was registered January 2020, you're going to pay tax next year, March 15, 2021.
So like for all the businesses that I would have registered this year, you're not required to pay tax until March, on or before March 15, 2021. Jamie, I have a lot of fans, so they just finished watching your YouTube videos. Again, you can subscribe to Jamie YouTube channel. You have a lot of videos on these important topics, and it's very, very helpful. For my staff, I just referred my staff to go to Jamie page to watch and understand the concept so they can better able to have conversation with customers. So Jamie YouTube channel is like a human resource video for my company. So just send them over to go and watch Jamie channel. Is a TCC mandatory when applying for a business? Yes. For most institutions. I think Sagicor does not require a TCC, but for all the other institutions, they require TCC.
Yeah, I think what Sagicor does is that they actually charge you to check if your business is actually registered for Sagicor.
What is the requirement for a TCC? I'm going to ask Shaquille Collins just to DM me, and I will outline that to you. It's basically you authorizing me to act as an agent for you. So I will have my persons go to NIS office, NHT office, and then we'll sort it out with tax office. Jamie.
All right. How does a small business owner effectively manage books and his or her own? To be honest, this, you don't really have an easy answer to this. You just have to basically try to be as consistent as possible and make sure that all your expenses, you track it and so on. So it's not an easy question to answer, because even for me, as an accountant, there are certain things that managing my own books that I leave out, because I may have gone somewhere and forgot to take that receipt, or I may have taken the receipt and pretty much just lost it or something like that. So It's not an easy question. The whole thing about that is dedication. Understand me? Dedication is where you manage your books, to be honest.
Just want to add a little with this, Jamie. You have a lot of tools, Microsoft tools. You can use Microsoft Access or Microsoft Excel, and you can do it on a daily basis and update this information. It helps you in terms of how effectively you manage your books. So if you should, on a monthly basis, you can estimate. Light is a variable expense, it's not fixed, but rent is a fixed expense, so you know what the rent is. So you can always input those information in Excel or database, so you can better able to manage how is it that you do your bookkeeping. We have quite a few more questions. Let me just move.
Not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to clear your taxes. What you can do is to go to the tax office and come to an agreement. So once you have a payment agreement with the tax office, then they may actually grant you the TCC. So you necessarily have to pay the tax. You just need to come to an agreement. They are going to pay it, and then they will work with you from there. Tax office want to collect the money, so they're willing to work with people.
Jimmy, we only have a minute remaining. I think
no problem.
Done. Yes. We're going to end the live and start again. This time we're going to be here maybe for like 5 additional minutes, because I guess Jamie need to go. I'll save this live and I'll just start again, and we just spend 5 more minutes and then call it a wrap for this evening.
All right then.
So, guys, just don't go anywhere. I'm going to save the live, and again, I'm going to refer everyone to go over Jamie YouTube channel and subscribe. His name is Jamie Radcliffe. He posts a lot of videos that are very important and very informative. So be back shortly.
All right, Fabian.